Just want to start this Q&A off with a little bit of an announcement. You know that channel we told you to subscribe to, that we got that new channel that we kind of deleted the video? Well, the reasoning behind that was because we actually managed to get this channel partnered and monetized again, thank God. So stick with this channel. All the videos will be on this channel still. But still subscribe to that other channel, which will have links in the description box below, as it will kind of be our side channel, backup channel, just in case anything wrong happens with this channel. It's a better YouTube name, though, isn't it? British Fist.
Now the other one works perfectly. It's up and running. The fact that we could do absolutely anything we want with that, still tune in because something could come along.
You never know. Let's get to the Q&A. This is the crux of the video, and one of the cruxes of our YouTube channel where we answer your questions. This is Q&A 126.
And talk about answering questions. Please, people, we encourage the ones that are not asking us questions to ask us questions, because we need to keep them coming, to keep them going, to keep our pages flooding, and so we can continue doing this each and every week.
Indeed. The first question is from Deco5757. Which TNA wrestlers could be a main event player in WWE?
2 words. It Factor.
Bobby Roode. I mean, I've got to agree with you. I mean, a lot of people may not see Bobby Roode as a top guy, and I don't think he could be a top guy. He does remind me a little bit about Triple H. He does have really good... He seems to be one of the most well-rounded performers in TNA in terms of in-ring action, character, mic skills and all that.
You could say the fact you've got him who's built up to be like Triple H, Aries who's built up like a Punk kind of character, James Storm. Right now you don't really feel that he's a main eventer, but he was once in the main event slot, which we felt that he could be there.
I think the thing about Bobby Roode is no matter what he's in, he does make it feel like a big segment or a big thing, which is what you want.
And I feel the fact that Buddy Ray is over more than Bubba Ray. I feel that WWE may have liked that and felt that he could be a good heel for their company.
Bobby Roode. Sir Lord Mark, what's your best ever wrestling game from the NES to the PS3? I must admit, SmackDown, I haven't played a wrestling game in years, but SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, I'll always love that game. I don't know why, I think it's just because it's the last wrestling game I properly played before I went to SmackDown vs. Raw.
WWF In Your House. They got the Undertaker, they had all these weird looking moves and stuff. It was such a crazy...
What about WWF Warzone, where they used to sit there and be like, DTA, don't trust anybody. And they used to have these promos at the beginning while the wrestlers were standing out. It was just so funny because it looked like they were dancing.
There we go.
WWF Warzone. I've still got it for the PS1 somewhere in my egg. I just don't have a PS1. RGP Rich Porter. A lot of questions here. I'm sorry, but I still think Kurt Axel is a bum, even if he is a Paul Heyman guy. Who would you have put in his position? He put in brackets Wade Barrett. So your answer, pretty much.
Jackass.
I don't know. I mean... was there any need for another Paul Heyman guy? Possibly not. But a newer talent would have been good in this role. Curtis Axel probably wasn't the best talent, but it was the right talent available at the time.
I think, to be honest, the fact that Wade Barrett has proven that he can be a good heel, Paul Heyman could have lifted him back up. But other than that, to be honest, I think they need to be careful not to overdo the word Paul Heyman guy.
Otherwise, it would just be meaningless. Does Double J need to come back to TNA? With rumours of the Carter family maybe selling up, do you think Spike TV will buy it because it is their most viewed show? Lol. Then they're going to sell TNA.
Sad thing is, every time the TNA have looked like they've been dropping ratings, Spike's encouraged to keep them on. So I think, to be honest, until they drop even lower than what they are now, it's not going to happen.
I don't think TNA will be for sale. I really don't. Does Kaz have a better chance of a TNA World Title run than Wade Barrett a WWE World Heavyweight Championship run? Kazarian will never be a TNA World Champion, so I'd say Wade Barrett, because at least he has the kind of aspects you would see in a WWE superstar to be some kind of world champion down the line.
For a year or so, Kaz has basically been Daniels' puppet, while Wade Barrett, yes, he's been losing matches, failing a push, but there's still a chance for a character like Barrett to go higher than Kaz.
Did you guys watch Breaking Bad? No, did you?
Started to, I haven't yet finished it.
Why have they never done a full lesbian storyline for the Divas? Which Divas would you put in it?
Lita and Mickie James. I don't know why.
Probably because they're like your two favourite Divas.
And they've done something similar beforehand.
Yeah, I thought that was Trish Stratus and Mickie James, but there we go.
Both ways.
Both ways. Lita would be good in it. They probably haven't done a full lesbian storyline because it's a bit too edgy for TV. Even though A lot of TV shows like soaps do it, so why can't WWE do it? That's a bit weird, isn't it?
The kids would love to see it.
I mean, imagine like the kids saying, "Mummy, Daddy, why are two girls kissing?" Or maybe "Daddy, Daddy, why are two girls kissing?"
And replaying the Edge and Leeds thing for having two divas. Why are two women in bed together?
Exactly. Do you think it's okay to blur the lines of Raw and Total Divas? For example, Randy talking about Goatface marrying Brie Bella. I think you mean Daniel Bryan there, the face of the fuck off. No, but I mean, blurring the lines between Raw and Total Divas, why not? Because right now they're doing their main story, which is the corporate angle, is blurring the lines of reality and entertainment in the sense that they're going on about what's best for business and Big Show being a locker room leader and everything. So why not blur the lines? It's getting good ratings. Why not?
Yeah.
Mr. Parkin, how do you think David... This is another one you're going to go to. Mr. Parkin, how do you think David Moyes, AVB, Wenger and Mourinho are doing so far this season? Okay, David Moyes, the manager of my club, Man United. Not doing incredibly well right now, but I think as soon as he gets a couple of wins together and finds his strongest team, he will be, it will improve down the line. As for AVB, Andres Villas-Boas, he's got a completely new, different team, which means it's going to be hard for them to gel together, so that'll be his job. But they've done okay, so it will just be a case of finding his strongest team and, getting out there and getting some decent fucking goals out of them, because that's what they can't do unless they score a penalty. Wenger is doing incredibly well with that Arsenal team this season. Ozil's changed that completely around. What a great signing. Good work, Wenger. Considering at the start of the season, everyone wanted him sacked. Mourinho is doing an okay job at Chelsea. It's going to be a lot harder for him the way the Premiership is now, considering how Chelsea have gotten now compared to how they were when Mourinho was first brought in. It'll take about a season for him to really get his team together. So I'd really analyse Mourinho 1 year down the line, really. We all know he's a great manager, but could he manage this team to a Premiership title? Who knows? NJ, which is better as a whole series, Dexter or CSI New York?
Dexter, next.
Which diva, past or present, would you like to see twerk?
Lita, next.
We've already seen Brooke Tetchmacher twerk, and that was
I think
pretty cool.
Lita just because she's my favourite, or Tara.
One of the two. If you was in talent relations in WWE, which knockouts would you hire if TNA went bust now? Mickey James, even though, I'd definitely hire Mickey James back. Brooke Tetchmacher could be, she's good eye candy and she's improved a lot in the ring. She'd probably be my number one target.
I'm going to put it on Mickey James just because bringing her back, the fact that the W crowd know who she is, it would be brilliant again.
Will that money whore Hulk Hogan be at WrestleMania this year?
No.
Depends if WWE want to bring some sort of star attraction, and what bigger star in this industry than Hulk Hogan, even though people will bash TNA for it, but when he comes back to WWE, it does have a special feeling about it. So if Vince McMahon really wants to bring a star attraction to WrestleMania, could be Hulk Hogan. I'm just saying, it could be.
Right now, I'm going to ignore the rumours because I still feel he's still contracted to TNA and it's going to come to another storyline. I feel that right now there's going to be someone else going to WrestleMania.
Did you guys watch Man of Steel? I watched Man of Steel. That was actually the first time I met my current girlfriend watching Man of Steel, so that's kind of a cool story. I think it's because I'm more of an old school Superman fan. I wasn't really that into it, really.
The reason I haven't watched it is because, yes, I've heard up and down reviews and you need to judge your own stuff, but I just really weren't a fan of Superman.
Is time running out for Dolph Ziggler? As a babyface, yes. I mean, what's he done as a babyface? I mean, I know he's been in the doghouse, but gosh, now.
He's a great performer, and I can't keep using that as a reason why to push him. It's got to be more to it. But yeah. I think with Ziggler, I think if the WWE didn't keep dropping him, I feel that he could have something the fans would enjoy.
And how come you're not in the supper club? Laugh my ass off. Do we look like the kind of people that would degrade ourselves to such a terrible organisation where all they do is prop each other up at the expense of others? No, we're a channel for the people. We're not a channel for ourselves.
People!
Just clear your throat there, NJ, before you do that. I can't pronounce this word. People power. Boho Brooks. Boho Brooks. I think I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Do you think with 2 new pay-per-views this year, will WWE start to do more new pay-per-views like Battleground? Even though I hate the gimmick pay-per-views, Battleground almost seemed thrown in for no reason. It's very true. But will they start to do more new pay-per-views? I'd like for them to bring some of the old ones back, but I think going forward they will try and think of more new ones, even though they're generally more considered filler.
To be honest, the fact that the WWE, not recently but in the past, have been trying to move as hard as they can away from the Attitude Era, going back to the old pay-per-views is what we want, but not what Vince is going to want. So I think all these stupid name pay-per-views, gimmicky pay-per-views are just going to keep on growing, and maybe not add more in, maybe replace.
And that kind of relates to the next question this person asked. With new pay-per-views popping up, if you could bring back an old pay-per-view or make one of your own, which one would you choose?
I was always a fan, even though Backlash was a favourite, I do like Extreme Rules. I'm going to go with No Way Out.
They did bring back No Way Out for a while. I'd say Judgment Day. I kind of like the Judgment Day concept. Do you guys like the amount of tag teams in the WWE and how they seem to actually be getting a division push? Uso, Shield, Real Americans, and who you choose as definitive champs? You've got Dustin and Cody Rhodes now. You've got Los Matadores now, primetime players. So they have a decent amount of tag teams, and tag team division has seemed to be upped a little bit from what I've seen anyway. I mean, they've got a good storyline going on with Cody Rhodes and Goldust right now. Plus the Shield and the Wyatt family as well.
That's very true. But when it comes to tag team division, how many of those tag teams do you even give a damn about? How many of those tag teams are as hot or as lively or as great or as together as the past Jeff Hardy, Edge and Christian? These tag teams you've got right now, none of them really excite me, want me to tune in each week or feel a long term. So to be honest, there are loads of tag teams, but nothing solid like the past.
I love Samoa. I love Samoa. Yeah, that was pretty shit, wasn't it? Roy Green. Oh no, sorry, it's Johnny Castaway. Who was the biggest upset victory in any Royal Rumble in terms of card level and general odds? I'd say Benoit, but he will never be mentioned again on WWE TV.
One word: Destiny.
Del Rio.
I felt, to be honest, yes, we were all begging for it, but now time's gone on. You can see that maybe it was too soon or not really good enough for Del Rio at that point.
I'd say Rey Mysterio. I don't think anyone really thought he was going to win a Rumble, apart from the Eddie's death, of course. But in terms of odds and card level, Rey Mysterio. Roy Green. What do you think of a Bray Wyatt-Raven feud? Raven's not really on the roster right now, so I don't really see the point. I really don't.
Raven, yes, there's been loads of, over the past few months, people mentioning Raven, but him coming back to face Bray Wyatt, but I don't think anyone's going to care or know who Raven is right now.
Well, people will probably know, but it's just Raven's quite old, and what's the point of bringing him back just for a few Cabrera? Deco5757. There is a lot of negativity in wrestling today. It's very true. So what is your favourite feel-good moment in wrestling history? I've got to think about this. I really have got to think about this.
So, a moment that's happened in
wrestling history that just made you feel good.
Rock beating Cena.
Rock beating Cena.
It actually happened.
It's not a bad one, actually. I guess a lot of people might say like Chris Benoit defeating the odds at WrestleMania against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Some people may say Benoit winning the Royal Rumble.
I'd say Punk defeating Cena, the stealing the championship thing, because that was an oh my god moment.
Can't really think of. I mean, it's hard to think of feel good moments because lately there haven't really been many, in my opinion. But in the past, you had like The Rock finally defeating the Corporate, in 2000 when he was feuding with Triple H. That was kind of a feel-good moment for me back then because I was a Rock fan, especially after all the heat Triple H built up by beating Cactus Jack twice.
Return of Lita, the crowd loved that. I know I'm naming recent stuff.
Raw 1000.
I guess I'm just bringing the fact that you can name millions of stuff in the past, but recently we have had some stuff.
Raw 1000.
Very good.
That was a very good feel-good moment, that was. 1,000 episodes of Raw, wrestling. Damn. If you have any feel-good moments yourself, please comment them. We want to know. American Alucard. There was a rumor after Stone Cold left, Raven was supposed to get a major push and be the top heel in the company. Did WWE make the right decision by not pulling the trigger on this? Raven was never going to be a top heel.
Raven, every single week, every single month, every single pay-per-view, hardcore championship, hardcore matches. So I think that's where he was specifically set, like you'd expect. I didn't think he was ever going to be up there with Austin.
No, never in a million years. Why doesn't WWE stop hiring models to be divas and just farm female wrestlers from Shimmer? Well, what we have to realize is, yes, you can bring in great wrestlers. That's fine. I will be all for that, in NXT and everything. But what really draws people to women's wrestling? Is it the in-ring action, or is it how the women look? I mean, I'm not trying to be sexist here or anything, but there's a lot of males that watch WWE. There's a lot of young teenage males that watch WWE. I mean, back in the day, we used to like people like Lita, Mickey James, etc. So, it's not that they're hiring models because they look good and they're aesthetically pleasing, and that's a lot easier to do than, let's say, please someone with in-ring ability. Even though that is a special thing that people like Trish and Nikki had.
As much as we could have good-looking divas in there to attract people's viewership to the show to see these divas, so they notice the other wrestlers there, we have had some good divas matches. So I do think it's sad that they do not try and get a mixture of both, instead of just concentrating more on getting the good lookers.
Sam Pearson, when do you think the split up of the Shield will happen?
I've got 2 guesses.
Go on, you go with your guesses.
The Royal Rumble, because one person's going to want to go for that WrestleMania moment, or Survivor Series when they have like the 4-on-4 and they actively knock out the other person.
I mean, they've been teasing it a little bit. They've been teasing a babyface turn for Roman Reigns, so you've got to imagine that it's somewhere down the line. I think it'll probably be next year. I still think they have a role to play in this corporate angle, even though the Wyatts seem to be like the sort of upper tag team on that one now. But I'd say sometime next year, maybe after WrestleMania. Who really knows? When do you think Austin started getting pissed off with the way things were going with his character, storylines, etc., before this sudden departure in June 2002? I reckon it was because Austin had neck issues and stuff, and he wasn't going to be the top guy for the company. Brock Lesnar was going to be the top guy for the company, and because he wasn't going to be the top guy anymore, I reckon he just thought to himself, well, I've had my time on top. I don't really need to be part of this anymore.
My 2 feelings for Austin, sadly, maybe it's not the right answer, it's just how I felt. When he went from being an ass kicker to more comedy, and then Invasion.
The Invasion angle killed Austin, in my opinion. He was a heel that used to hug Vince McMahon. I mean, the linchpin of one of the biggest and most profitable eras in your history, and you've got the 2 guys that were the biggest feud in this hugging each other. And what a load of bullshit.
Him playing guitar backstage to make Vince happy. It went all wrong there.
Yeah, I can't blame Austin for being a little bit bad with that one, especially being part of the fucking WCW, ECW blah shit. There we go. Anyway, RFV 089. Who would win a 100-meter race between NJ or Mr. Parkin?
I skip, so judge yourself there.
Yeah, well, I run, so judge yourself there.
Yeah.
So I would win, thank you very much. I used to be a pretty good athlete back in my day. You were never really an athlete, were you, back in school?
I was a skipper.
Here's a good question. Who would win in a typing competition between me and NJ? Probably you. 1-1. There we go. Have you ever watched the show Friends, and if so, what is your favourite character? Or what was your favourite character? I didn't really watch Friends too much.
How you do it, Joey.
I never really watched Friends, so I can't really comment on it, but I did find that funny. Does WWE overvalue and praise John Cena too much as a great wrestler, as well as compare him to the likes of Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, and Shawn Michaels, when we as fans know that he is definitely not as good as the wrestlers I just listed? Okay. It's not necessarily that he's as good as these wrestlers, it's the fact that he is the kind of linchpin of the company right now, similar to what a Hogan and a Stone Cold and a Rock and a Shawn Michaels were in WWE at one point. So, in my opinion, it's not a comparison as to how good the wrestlers are, it's a comparison to where they are in the company at specific points in time.
If you're talking about like in-ring ability, then yes, the rest you've named are better than John Cena.
Yeah, of course.
If you're mentioning the draw, somehow John Cena's bright coloured shirts, his not so funny jokes, his boring moveset, his pumped up body is a draw to the WWE, but John Cena's got something.
Yeah, he's a money draw for the company. It's the biggest money draw they have. So there you go. Sharon's Pass. It's the last question. Do you think if AJ Styles came to the WWE, he could make an impact as a Paul Heyman guy or by himself? I don't think WWE would really want to push AJ Styles to the top. Maybe a mid-carder, but I think Vince McMahon would just be thinking to himself, well, we've got a TNA guy here. Well, let's try our best to bury him.
Paul Heyman guy, there's saying again. I don't... The fact that Curtis Axel's failed as a Paul Heyman guy. AJ had that dark character but that didn't really work out. So yeah, WWE's team could be better with it, but I'm going to say no.
Just imagine this. Just, AJ Styles is on this walkout of TNA right now. He's defending his championship in Japan. Imagine if AJ Styles came to WWE and defended the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in WWE and they found some kind of agreement. It's probably never going to happen, but just imagine if it did.
If that happened, the WWE would steal TNA's championship.
Yeah, it would be like Eric Bischoff back in '96 having the WWE Championship and booking it. Really, it would be, wouldn't it? But anyway, this is the end of another Q&A with us, the British Fest. Please keep sending us in your questions so we can continue to do this on a weekly basis. Make sure also you go subscribe to that backup channel we have now. And we'll give you more news and updates regards that going forward. But for now, we can monetize our videos again.
And thank you very much for watching this video, people. The best is yet to come from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.